Have you ever wondered if marketing's even worth the investment? Maybe you've spent money on ads and tried boosting your own posts. You might have even spent money on an agency to manage your ads, or you've even tried doing it yourself. And at the end, you're probably feeling disappointed. You spent money on clicks, impressions, all the vanity metrics, but you've not received what you're actually looking for, which is quality leads. Probably thinking, well, is this all just a waste of money? If that's you, stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to explain when marketing is actually worth the investment and when you should maybe pull the plug and stop wasting more money on it, and how you can actually tell the difference. So let's get into it. Marketing is an investment. It should not be a cost. You should always be seeing a return on your investment. A cost is something similar like paying rent, paying electricity, paying bills. Marketing should not feel the same way. For example, if you put £1,000 or £10,000 into your Google ads and it's bringing you back £4,000 or £40,000, that's an investment, not an expense. Here's the key thing, making sure you've got good marketing in place. What you don't want to be doing is having money in and absolutely nothing back in return. So the real question should be, should I spend money on marketing? And then how do you make sure that money is worth the investment? Here's why most businesses end up thinking why marketing doesn't work. It has three things in common. One, just having the wrong strategy. Someone might have told them you need to go do Facebook ads where your actual customers are on Google. For example, if you're an emergency plumber, people are going to be searching on Google for emergency services, not pulling out Facebook or Instagram to look for emergency services. They were simply told to start posting 2-3 times on Instagram a day, but their demographic audience is over 55 years old, barely uses the app. And number two is not having no way of measuring the results. They spent money, but no one actually knows what's working, what's not working, where they're wasting money and how to stop wasting that money. Or they might have even generated inquiries, but if it's not being tracked, you simply don't know where they came from. And lastly, the most common one is they've turned on the ads, they've started on the 1st of the month, they've not generated leads by the 5th, they've decided to pause it on the 2nd week. They've not seen instant results, and then they've simply just gone and pulled the plug on it. Business owners simply just give up too early without even knowing what's working and not working. If you notice something about them 3 points, it doesn't mean marketing doesn't work. It simply means that a particular attempt didn't work. The tracking's not in place. They've not allowed enough time for it, or they've overspent on the first couple of days, so they can't allow for a full month's worth of marketing or 2 months worth of marketing or even longer. Or they've simply had no strategy in place. Which basically brings me on to my next point. Agencies probably won't even tell you this. A marketing strategy, messaging, landing pages, keywords that work for one company may not work for your business in a completely different area. You cannot just pick it up and copy and paste it to place it in another area. If you're a plumber or an emergency locksmith or a dentist, your customers are actively searching for your services using things like Google or AI searches like ChatGPT. And you should be treating them like your best friends, because you're simply catching people at the exact moment with the problem that they have, and you want your business to appear straight away in front of them. However, if you're selling something people might not need right away, or they don't search for as often, social media ads might be another route that you could go down, because you're then creating a demand for it rather than capturing it, which is why you'll probably see loads of e-commerce ads using meta ads. Before you even go away and spend money on more marketing, you actually need to figure out where is your ideal clients, where do they normally hang around the most in terms of search engines, not at your local pubs, and then what are they actually typing in onto search engines to actually find you, or on ChatGPT. Now if they're on AI searches like ChatGPT, you want to make sure your organic rankings are great. If it's Google ads, you then want to make sure you've got the right keywords to talk to the right audience that you're looking for. And that all comes down to your strategy. You don't want to just guess loads of different keywords and chuck them into a campaign and expect magic to work. Now this next point will probably save you thousands. Marketing simply multiplies what you already have. If your foundations are strong, your marketing can simply multiply it. If your marketing foundation is weak, you're already setting yourself up for more failure. By foundations, I mean your website, your landing pages, the messaging on the landing pages that people will actually end up seeing when they come and visit the website. For example, if your website is slow, doesn't load correctly on all devices, chances are the visitor's just going to leave. You can actually use a tool called Microsoft Clarity, completely free, install it on your website, and you can see how visitors are behaving when they view your website, whether that's on mobile or desktop. Or if your landing page's messaging doesn't match what's on your ads, for example, if it says emergency plumber in London and they've landed to a landing page that just says, we provide plumbing services, the messaging is not correct. Someone's looking for an emergency service and this just tells them they're looking for plumbing services. So sending traffic to a broken landing page that doesn't load quick enough, or the wrong messaging, is simply just wasting more ad spend. And before you want to waste ad spend, you want to figure out how much time is it actually going to take long term. So point number 5 is thinking of the timelines. And this is where expectations come in place. If you're expecting results within the first week, 2 weeks, or you want results within 30 days, paid ads would probably be your best routes, because Google ads can bring in traffic a lot quicker, because ultimately you're paying for that traffic. Whereas if you're looking for a long-term strategy, that's where things like SEO will come in place, or AI SEO, to help you get found in other places organically to build up that trust and that revenue coming in later down the line. Slower to begin with, but it compounds over the longer period of months that you've invested into it. And if anyone's promising you position 1 rankings on Google within 7 days or 10 days or 50 leads in your first week, you'd probably want to start looking into what type of leads they are. Anyone can promise you a lead. It's making sure it's qualified, the correct telephone number, people are actually looking for the service, not just some rubbish data that's coming through. Now you're probably thinking, well, all of these points are great, Bobby, but how do I know if it's all working? And this is where you need to track and monitor where you're spending your money, the number of inquiries that have come in, and how many of them have you actually sold. Because having inquiries is one thing, but you need to make sure they're being sold as well. If your marketing provider or agency can't tell you this, that will be a big red flag straight away. You must know what your cost per lead is. If you spend £500 on ads, you've generated 10 leads, you know straight away it's £50 per lead. Or if you've had 10 inquiries come in and you want to figure out the return you're receiving, and out of them 10 inquiries you actually sold 3 jobs, and each job is worth to yourself at £2,500, you know, well, I've got £7,500 in return after spending £1,000 on my ads. And then with that decision, you can understand this is a profitable marketing strategy. Let's continue to invest more into it to generate more income. Or use that profit to take it into another marketing avenue for your business to generate more leads. And if you're already paying an agency, some of the things that you should at least expect as a minimum is transparency. You should know exactly what they're doing, what's been improved each month. And it shouldn't be in technical jargon or nonsense. It should be easy for you to understand. Remember, marketing's not complicated. You should have a simple report knowing all the improvements that have been made, not a 40-page document to confuse you either. A good, honest conversation at least once or twice in the month, so you're aware of what's been happening long term, what the next plans are for the business, and what's going to happen over the next few months as well. Alongside of that, you should make sure you have full ownership of your own Google Ads account, your Meta Ads accounts, or your analytics, Search Console accounts. If you've not got full ownership of them or full access, that's something you'd want to bring up with your agency, so at least you can go in and make sure you've got full ownership and access, because that data essentially would belong to yourself. It is your business and you need to know what's happening with that data. Before you even go spend any more money on your marketing, make sure your website, your landing pages are all working correctly. If they're loading fine on mobiles, tablets, as well as desktops. And after that, make sure your messaging is talking to your ideal clients that you're looking for. Then start tracking what you're looking to invest in for your marketing with your ad spend, along with the number of leads that are being generated. Because ultimately, all the other vanity metrics such as your clicks, your click-through rates, impressions, search appearances, and all of that nonsense do not pay the bills. Ultimately, it's going to be your inquiries that have come through and the number of jobs you've sold. And most marketing agencies will tell you the inquiries is their responsibility to generate them for you, and it's the customer's job to make sure they can sell them inquiries, making sure they're in touch with that lead fast enough, making sure there's responses going out to them, making sure they're engaging with them leads quite often in order to keep that sales process going before you actually sell that deal. If you're not sure where to start, or you'd like your marketing strategy to be reviewed, click on the link below, book in a call with myself or my team, and we'll look forward to seeing how we can help you.